What began as a simple design experiment or just a sponsor's logo has evolved into a dynasty of legendary car liveries. Over the years, these designs have become more than just paint jobs. They've become symbols of speed, heritage and emotion. But which liveries truly stand the test of time and are forever etched into motorsport history? Let's find out together. Here's my top 10 list of the most iconic car liveries of all time. The ones that always work and will never die. This might surprise you, the legendary Martini Racing livery only lands at number 10 for me, and I totally get your confusion. It is one of the cleanest, most timeless liveries ever created for sure. From Formula 1 to endurance racing, rally to GT. Almost every major motorsport category has, at some point, featured a car wearing those iconic red and blue stripes. But here's the thing, when the Martini Racing livery is featured on a plain white car, it looks absolutely stunning. Clean, balanced and just timeless. However, once you put it on any other color, it starts to lose its magic. On silver, like we've seen on plenty of Porsches over the years, it still works to some extent. But on cars like the bright red Brabham BT45 or a British racing green Lotus? Not really. Not every Martini livery is an instant beauty for me, but still, it's an instant classic for sure. It is one of those designs I would love to see make a real comeback on more modern race cars again. While it only lasted a few short years compared to other liveries on this list, the McLaren Vodafone Chrome design of the late 2000s and early 2010s was nothing short of brilliant, quite literally. It's one of those liveries that shouldn't work in theory, but in real life it absolutely pops. Those McLarens shimmered like liquid metal, the chrome catching every ray of light, and that splash of red just perfectly striking and simply beautiful. However, what many people don't know is that this livery has been seen in other categories as well. For instance, Vodafone was sponsoring 888 race engineering from 2007 to 2012 in a V8 supercar series as well. The liveries leaned more silver-ish, following the style of the earlier McLaren F1 cars. But in 2012, they went all in with a full chrome design. And guess what? It looked absolutely insane on those V8 monsters. And technically, this livery actually existed even before it hit F1 and V8 supercars. Back in the early 2000s, Mercedes ran a red and silver Vodafone DTM car driven by the series champion Bernd Schneider. While it wasn't full chrome yet, you could definitely argue that this was the first sketch of one of motorsport's greatest liveries. The Castrol livery is undoubtedly one of the most enduring designs in motorsport history, appearing across almost every racing category at some point. Its bold use of red, green and white, made famous in the 1990s with the Castrol livery Toyota Supras in Japanese Super GT, as well as Toyota's rally campaigns, has become super iconic. To me, this livery will always be instantly associated with Toyota, but this classic design has since been revived and reinterpreted across multiple racing series, from recent V8 supercars to NASCAR entries, and no matter where it appears, it always looks incredibly cool. A well-deserved number 8 spot on this list. Now, this is the first livery on this list that wasn't born from a sponsorship deal. We're talking about the early colors of Lotus in the 1950s and 1960s, which were the instantly recognizable British racing green with yellow stripes. They originally chose the green color to represent their British heritage and added that yellow touch to make the car stand out on track. But in doing so, they kind of accidentally created one of the most timeless color combinations in motorsport history, I guess. Seriously, this combo just works on every car, every time. I actually asked AI to put these colors on a family van and it still looks great. The Lotus F1 team eventually moved on to sponsorship liveries in the 1970s, but that classic green and yellow design still makes appearances from time to time in different racing categories and even on cars from other teams. And every now and then you'll spot it on a road car too, which always makes me smile, because when you see that combo, you just know the owner has great taste. Now, I might get a lot of hate for this, but hear me out. I know many of you watching F1 are tired of seeing Red Bull show up with the same livery for almost a decade now. And honestly, I was one of you until I went to the Belgian Grand Prix this year. And I take everything back. Trust me, the matte dark blue paired with the almost fluorescent red and yellow of the Red Bull logo looks insane in real life. No photo or video can do it justice. It is something you just have to see in person to believe. I never quite understood why all race cars sponsored by Red Bull featured this darker blue instead of their actual blue they use on their drinks. But now I know. And honestly, Red Bull liveries have already become instant classics in motorsport. You see them everywhere, across so many categories. And let's be real, they always pop and look absolutely insane. And as much as I like it when teams try out new ideas, I kind of want Red Bull to also never change this amazing livery. This one is obvious, and I probably don't need to further explain why it is in the top 5 of this list. I am not allowed to name the brand behind this livery that created one of the most iconic designs in motorsport history, otherwise I'll get myself in trouble again. But you know it, I'm sure. This livery just screams dominance. Simple yet striking. A white car with bold red highlights. It first appeared in F1 in 1972 when the brand started sponsoring BRM, introducing the red and white color scheme to the world of motorsport for the first time. 2 years later, the sponsorship moved to McLaren, and that's when history was made. This livery adorns some of the most dominant and beautiful race cars of all time and has become an indispensable part of motorsport's heritage. But it wasn't limited to F1. In IndyCar and kart, Penske cars carried these iconic colors from the late 1970s all the way through the early 2000s as well. And guess what? These cars were extremely successful. There might be something special about those colors. Once again, I cannot mention the brand that started it all, but you already know which one I'm talking about. It is the story of probably the most classy and elegant racing livery the world has ever seen. As mentioned earlier, Team Lotus was the first F1 team to move away from traditional team colors to full sponsorship liveries. And in 1972, they revealed their legendary black and gold JPS design. Even today, those cars still look perfect. In contrast to many other designs on this list, this livery isn't flashy or loud, it's subtle and refined. And that's exactly what makes it stand out, especially compared to those sometimes over-the-top designs we see in modern racing, where it sometimes feels like every color is engineered to scream for attention. And luckily, we've seen the black and gold colors making a comeback even in more recent years, whether it was the rebranded Renault F1 team in the early 2010s or the Rebellion Racing prototypes that competed in Le Mans and WEC. This livery always delivered pure elegance. While such subtle and elegant car liveries may not reflect the current spirit of the times, I really hope we will see the classic black and gold design make a comeback in motorsport very soon. Now, we've made it to the podium positions, but which livery will take the number 1 spot? Coming in at number 3 is a design that has been a serious contender for the top spots for a long time while writing the script. We are talking about the Falcon Tires livery. I absolutely love this color combination. The teal and blue colors are simple, yet bold and instantly eye-catching. And the way this livery blends the two colors together gives it a super aggressive look too. Once again, it's one of those liveries that just works on every car. Since its first appearance in 1985, this livery has been featured on everything from drift to GT cars, on Nissans, BMWs and Porsches. And what is truly impressive is that the design has barely changed in nearly 40 years, making it instantly recognizable every single time it hits the track. It is perfect and simply iconic already, and I hope it will stay in motorsport for the next decades to come. A very well-deserved podium spot on this list. I know, for many of you this would already be the number 1 spot, but there can only be one winner, and it was a tight race. Number 2 goes to probably the most iconic rally livery of all time, the Subaru's World Rally Team's blue and gold design. This livery isn't just a color scheme, it is a symbol of an entire era in rallying with legends like Colin McRae and Peter Solberg. The deep metallic blue paired with those gold wheels and the striking yellow Subaru logo is just pure perfection. It is a real piece of art, somehow combining elegance with aggression. These colors were meant to be matched and meant to be put on a Subaru. It first appeared in the early 1990s under a sponsorship deal I once again cannot name. But even after sponsors changed, Subaru kept the colors, turning them into their official motorsport identity and arguably something even bigger. Honestly, whenever I see a Subaru on the road that isn't metallic blue with golden wheels, it just feels wrong. Again, it was really hard for me to not put this one on the top of the list. But no matter what, this livery is a true classic created to last for eternity. Here we are, taking the top spot for the most iconic racing livery of all time. The legendary Gulf blue and orange design. It's a combination I personally cannot get enough of. I even use it as the colors for my YouTube channel. And if I ever get a Porsche, you can bet it will be wrapped in these colors too. The bright blue and orange just work perfectly together. It feels retro, but still looks razor sharp even on modern cars in 2025. First introduced in the mid-1960s, this striking color scheme has been featured on some of the most legendary race cars in history, from the Ford GT40 to the Porsche 917K to special appearances on F1 cars like McLaren and Williams. All these cars have always become instant fan favorites, because this livery never misses. It is timeless, works on every car, and honestly, you could put it on clothes, gadgets, or pretty much anything and it would still look amazing. The Gulf livery is the undisputed winner, the most iconic motorsport livery of all time. So, what's your favorite livery from this video? Or did I even miss one of your all-time favorites? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.